So let's talk about what's new, right? We're here at a trade show.
And we're at a trade show, yeah.
What's new this year? What are you really focusing on here at Interbike?
So we have a couple objectives for Interbike here. We wanted to, be able to show the dealers our complete line of bikes, that we have a full line of bikes from Air 9s, our Jet 9, which is 100 mil suspension travel, and our new Rip 9 RDO, which is 125 mils of travel and carbon fiber. We also, traditionally, we've basically sold frames to bike shops, and they've had to go through and pick all the parts, and now we have a whole bike builder program where you can go on our website. We've revamped our website so that people can go in, pick all the components, and we can basically ship a complete bike to the dealers now. So that, for us, is a big next step forward in the growth of our company.
So how does that work for a consumer? They go to your website, which is?
Ninerbikes.com.
Awesome, got to get that in there. So ninerbikes.com, they go there, and what is that experience like for them building their
so there's a couple tabs. Hopefully it's very easy to navigate. There's a bike builder tab, and you go in there and you can select your frame, your fork, and the componentry, and it basically gives you a pricing. You can print that out, bring it to your dealer, and say, this is the bike I want to have. And then you can also check different price points. You can subtract or add different parts and get to a price point that you're comfortable with. So we have a number of options available. And so, it's the first step in what we're trying to do, and as time goes on, as we've always done, we'll continue to get better at everything we do.
You guys were just in Wired magazine.
Yeah, we were featured a week ago in Wired.com, and that was a neat for a small company like ours to be featured by them, and they were highlighting how we run sort of a virtual office. One of the old tenets is have a building in Houston and force everybody that wants to work for the company to move to Houston. And I really feel nowadays with technology, with iPads and Skype and cell phones, that you want to find the best people. And that's the struggle for all companies, is to hire the best talent. And if the best talent is in Miami, Florida, and that person has a wonderful home life and family life in Florida, why should you make them abandon that to move to your Houston office building? You just hook them up to a computer, meetings by Skype, and we do it very successfully. We do all of our work virtually. We do have hard offices. We have offices in LA and in Colorado and Utah, where people can come to work if they want to. And I'm actually one of those people. I have to go to an office every day. But a lot of people want to work virtually and work from their home and have that flexibility, and we allow that to happen. And
so it's interesting. I think a lot of people probably would look at that and say, oh, that would never work for me. And maybe for some people it wouldn't. But I think in a company like yours, where creativity and lifestyle are so important, you want people to live where they're going to be happy, because they'll be most productive there.
Yeah, and there's always pros and cons to it. There are some drawbacks. You don't have the water cooler effect, but I think you just have to look at what are the shortcomings of trying to run a company this way, and counteracting it with best practices and so forth. So we have a lot of meetings and get-togethers to make sure we have that vibe going through the group. So
Wired.com talks about you. Forbes talked about you as well.
Yeah, we got named as one of top America's most innovative company, and one of the 100 most innovative companies in America, and that was neat for us.
And you think about it, you were telling me you have fewer than 30 employees, and to be in Forbes and to be in Wired, you got to be doing something right.
We have again, it comes back to people. We have a really strong team of people, and I think working with other people that are just really driven and passionate, I think just fuels everybody. So it just brings everybody up to a level I think they never thought they could achieve. And I think we've done things that, for a group our size, normally isn't possible.
From the time when you founded the company to today, as we talked about, 29 inches is here to stay. You've got corporate competition and other competition. How do you position Niner to the consumer and to the dealer? We
have a very specific mission, and I think it's really important for companies to have a mission statement that they live by. And our mission basically is to build mountain bikes for avid riders. So our price points are a little higher than most bikes, and in the riders that we're targeting are people that ride a lot. And so it's not the casual rider that rides 3 or 4 times a year. We're looking for the guy that goes out every week, and they really expect a lot out of their equipment. I think that's one thing that differentiates us, and also that our entire company is just focused on one very narrow strip of just 20-inch mountain bikes. And I feel when people go out to research and buy a bicycle now, that you're going to want to look at a company that's all they do, because I think we spend a lot of time talking about very minute details about a bike that most companies would think, you spent 4 hours talking about cable routing? And we're like, yeah, we spent 4 hours arguing about cable routing. And but I think when you go out on the trail and you're riding, and it's important to you, you'll notice these little finite refinements that we make to our bikes, and I think that's why we've been so successful.
So it sounds like it's not a corporate decision. It's not well, we can shave a few pennies here or there. It's what's going to create the best ride experience for, as you said, the avid mountain biker.
Avid mountain bike riders, yeah. And again, we're not trying to appease the beach cruiser community, road bike community. The whole company's focus is just on one particular product segment.
Makes sense. Let's talk about the show. You guys are returning to Interbike.
Yes.
What is it that you see is the benefit for you of having that booth, and your booth number?
Is 26123.
Excellent. What's the benefit for you of having that booth here at Interbike?
The main thing is people can go online and look at our bikes, but there's still no substitute for touching and feeling. Yeah. And I think anybody can attest. You want to, before you stick your neck out and buy a high-end product, you really want to really examine the product with your own two hands. One of the ways we do that, besides just Interbike, is very important because we can have our dealer base, which is very important to us, come and actually see a complete line visually and see all of it. And also in our booth, we actually have one of our demo trucks. So we have 5 of these demo trucks running around the United States, and we're giving demo rides daily all over the United States.
Wow.
And it's our way of bringing the showroom to the public. So if you go on our website or on our Facebook page, you can see when the next time a truck's coming to your town. And with the advent of the 5 trucks now from 3, we feel that everybody who wants to ride one of our bikes will get a shot at it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Speaking of riding, right down the road here is IMBA. And I know that you guys have a real commitment to them. Tell me about that.
And back to our mission statement, part of Niner's mission statement, besides building bikes for avid mountain bike riders, is to give back to the community that makes what we do possible. And really, without IMBA out there advocating for keeping trails open, building new trails, maintaining trails, and getting grassroots support is so critical, I think, to our sport and our business in general, that it's something that I feel that all companies that participate in the mountain bike segment should be IMBA members. And we go to great lengths. We actually designed a bike this year, and it was an IMBA special, and we auctioned it off on eBay, and we got I think 30% over retail for the bikes, and we donated all the funds, 100% of the funds to IMBA. And it's one of the programs right now. We have a T-shirt program going on. Also, anybody that buys a bike within the industry, we ask that we take a $10 donation out of that sale and give it directly to IMBA as well. So we have a number of corporate givebacks to IMBA because we feel it's very important.
It's interesting. I think, as you mentioned, because you took a passion and you made a business out of it, you can see how the business is then giving back to that passion. And
Correct.
I think it's
a nice circle.
It really is a nice circle. Yeah. It's great. Chris, great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's wonderful to have you. We are going to be right back with the folks from Chrome Bags. This is David for Good Morning Interbike.